you okay?
شو بده يطلع؟
شنو ما ادري.
يتحرك كأنه.
Oh, sorry, that was me, the idiot.
Okay.
Is that okay? How does it look?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. I'm sorry that it's been so long since I filmed a recipe video. It's just been a really busy time, but I hope that I can start doing at least some recipes, since some lovely people sent me messages and wanted to see more. But anyway, today I've made these beautiful فطاير, I'm gonna call them. I was gonna call them like لحمة عجين, but it's hard to make that veggie. I'm really grateful to Om Haider for letting me share this recipe. Shout out to her because this was her recipe that she showed me. I hope you enjoy the recipe. Let me know if you try them and if you like them. I would love to hear about that. So yeah, thanks a lot and enjoy. Okay, so I've just had the onion sauteing for just a few minutes, and I'm just gonna add in the garlic. I've just got 2 cloves of chopped garlic. Thanks for coming so close, Subway. I'm just gonna add in the peppers just straight away, because why not? So I've just brought the heat up to high heat because it was a little too low, and I've added in just 1 small chopped tomato. I'm just gonna add in my mushrooms at this point. I've just got a whole bunch of mushrooms. I'm just kind of trying to show you how I've chopped them up. I'm just going to chop them up into these little pieces. Obviously they're going to shrink down a little bit more as well. Okay, so this has just been cooking for about 10 minutes or so. Just obviously cook it until it's kind of everything softened and cooked. I'm so off today, sorry people. But anyway, I'm just going to add in some tomato paste, probably like 2 teaspoons. I'd probably say like a tablespoon. I think that's good. I'm just gonna mix this around a little bit. Okay, I haven't added in any seasonings or anything yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. I'm just gonna start off with, of course, some salt. A good wee bit of salt. I'm gonna add some black pepper. And obviously optional, I'm just gonna add just a wee tiny bit of chili flakes in as well. That's enough for us. And then I've also got this, I think I've mentioned this in a video or 2, like this salad and vegetable spice blend. It's basically just mixed herbs, and then I think there is oregano in there, but I'm just gonna add a little bit extra oregano. It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like pizza spices, because they're basically like mini pizzas, so whatever not spices, herbs, whatever pizza herbs you like, just go ahead and add them in there. Okay, and of course I'm going to be adding in some fresh parsley. Okay, so I've just turned off the heat and I'm just going to pop this at the back of the cooker, just let it cool down, just while I prep everything else. This one obviously takes not too long, but a wee while to cool down, so it's good to kind of prep it at the beginning and then just kind of leave it. And I'm actually going to prep the spinach as well. You could of course use fresh spinach. We wanted to use fresh spinach, but didn't have any at the shop, so we're just using frozen. Okay, so I've got another pan here for my spinach filling for the other فطاير. I'm just gonna add my default of oil, which is just a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. I think about that much is good. And again, I'm just gonna use red onion. You could use whatever type of onion you like. I've just got 1 finely-ish chopped red onion here. That'll do. Okay, so I'm just gonna add in the onion. This spinach one is like super simple. It's literally just gonna be onion, which obviously I'm gonna saute for a few minutes here. And then after I add the spinach, we're gonna be using some of this sumac, which I've talked about before. I can't remember in which recipe, but oh my god, I inhaled it a bit too much there, but it's so good. It's like a spice that's used in kind of like Middle Eastern and North African cuisine, and it's really good with the spinach. Just adds to the kind of acidity of it. Okay, so I've just been sauteing the onion just for about 5 minutes or so. I'm just going to add in the spinach just now. To be honest, it should be defrosted. It's still a little bit frozen, but that'll be fine. If you're kind of unorganized like me and you didn't let your spinach defrost, I'm just gonna cover it with this lid and just kind of let it defrost in the pan for a little bit, and then I'll let it just kind of cook with the onion. Okay, so it literally just took about 5 minutes for the spinach to defrost with that lid on. So I've just removed the lid. In case I didn't mention, I've got it on high heat. I've had it on high heat from the beginning. And at this point, I'm just gonna add some salt to season. That's good. And then I'm just gonna add about a tablespoon of this. Not مليانة كلش tablespoon. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with about half a tablespoon of samag. Samag? Why am I tripping? Okay. And just give this a mix and let it cook down for a little bit. With the other mixture as well, it's probably a good idea to just stir it every so often just so it can cool down. To be honest, you're probably even better transferring it to a bowl to cool down, but I really don't want to make any more dirty dishes, so I'm just gonna leave it in the pan. It's up to you however you would like to do it. Okay, so I've just given it a little taste for seasoning and it's all good to go. So I'm just gonna add, this is just half of a lemon, the juice of half a lemon. Don't know why I made that so awkward. Yeah, and I'm just gonna turn the heat off now at this point and give it a wee mix with the lemon juice. Like I said, I gave it a wee taste and I feel like it needs a little bit more samag, so I'm just going to add in just about another half tablespoon. Okay, so now that the fillings / toppings are cooked and just cooling down at the back of the cooker there, I'm going to move on to the ajina, the dough, for the فطاير. So I'm going to use self-raising flour. Apparently you can use plain flour as well, that works as well. Okay, I've got this instant yeast here. I guess if you need to activate it, you can do that separately in water first, but because this is dry active yeast, I don't know much about yeast, but I know this one, I can just add it in straight with the dry ingredients. I'm just using 2 teaspoons of this. And then we're gonna do 3 teaspoons of sugar, and then we're gonna do 2 cups of water. So it's like however much flour you put, it's the same of water. Okay, let me with this first. That's okay. I'm just gonna give this a wee mix first, and then I'll add in the water. Okay, so you wanna, I've obviously got this in the kettle, but this isn't boiled water, it's just kind of lukewarm. You don't want it to be obviously too hot because that kills the yeast. I'm talking as if I know a lot about these things. Okay, I think that's a little bit too hot, so I'm gonna kasira. I'm gonna add just a little bit of cold water as well to even it out. 2 seconds. Okay, and then it's a bit messy. And then I'm just gonna give this a little mix. At this point, it's gonna be really watery, but I didn't mention we're going to be adding more flour in after this sits for a little bit, so that's why it's so liquidy at this point, so don't worry about that. I forgot to add salt. I'm just going to add in a little bit of salt at this point as well. Okay, so I've just mixed this up and I've tried to get all the little kind of flour pockets out, but I think if there's just a little bit there, it's not too big a deal. And at this point, I'm just gonna be really messy and just stick that there. I'm just gonna cover this with some cling film. If you don't like to use cling film or you don't have any, I don't think it's gonna be too big a deal if you don't use it, to be honest. But Mom's gonna get upset if I don't use it, so I'm just gonna use that here. So I'm just covering that up. And then I've got a kind of large tea towel here, so I'm just gonna wrap this in the tea towel just to keep it kind of warm. So just wrap up like a wee baby. And then basically I'm just gonna let this sit for for just about 10 minutes. So it's been 10 minutes, so I'm actually a bit nervous. Bismillah, let's check on this little, okay, something's happened. So I'm gonna add 3 more cups of flour, so that's 5 cups of flour in total. So I'm also gonna add half a cup of oil at this point. I'm just using some extra virgin olive oil. So that's that half a cup of oil as well. And I'm just gonna kind of gently stir this in. So this is how the dough is looking at this point. Come a bit closer, yeah. It's a little bit wet, so I'm just gonna add in a little bit more flour. It's kind of difficult to, like, you kind of just need to play it by how it feels and looks at this point. So it's been 20 minutes. I've just turned on my oven to let it preheat. I've just put it on max heat because obviously you want it to be nice and hot when we're cooking these in the oven. But before we get to that stage, let's check the dough at this point. Okay. Promising. Okay, Mom's not super happy, but I'm gonna stay optimistic. It looks okay. Okay, I'm just gonna finish with the cling foam now, so I'm just gonna put that to the side. My neighbour just gave us a really funny look. His wee face. I'm just gonna flour my surface. Okay, so I've just kind of flattened out one of these dough balls here. I'm just going to use my little, what's this called again? Rolling pin. That's a phone going off. To roll this out a little bit. Obviously you don't want it to be too thin. I forgot to say, this one here I'm doing is for the zaa'tar ones. So basically I've mixed 2 tablespoons of zaa'tar to about, I really don't know, like 4, maybe it's like double the amount of olive oil. I'll probably need to make some more of this, but yeah, that's the zaa'tar ones. If you can get this into a perfect circle, that would be better, but I can't really do it, so that's fine. Whatever you can do is fine. So I'm just gonna cut this up like so into little triangles. I ruined that a little bit, but yeah, that's okay. So basically I'm just gonna take one of these. So I'll show you how I do kind of one and then I'll do the rest. And then I'm just putting a little bit of that zaa'tar mixture in there. I'll just spread it out a little bit with my finger. And then I'm just folding it up and just kind of bringing it around like a little croissant. And then I'm gonna stick that on the tray with the rest of them here. Okay, so now that we've got our full tray of zaa'tar ones, beautiful, right? Very even and perfect. I'm just gonna, yeah, like I said, I've got the heat on high, on max, and let me finish before I open it. I'm just gonna stick these in the oven. They won't take long at all, probably between 5 and 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna keep an eye on them and I'll show you when they're done. Okay, so, oops, just getting flour absolutely everywhere. Just moving on to the rest of them. These ones, I'm just gonna tear them in half and kind of see how big they are in half, because I'm just gonna keep them into circles. Okay, so it's basically just like a mini pizza, a little mini lahma ajin. I'm just gonna add some of this veggie mixture that we made before. We've got quite a lot here, so I'm gonna be kind of generous with it. Just see how many we can make. So for the spinach ones, of course you can do whatever style of dough with whatever filling, but for these ones, for the spinach ones, I've just like portioned out the dough like so, and then I'm just gonna put a little bit of this spinach mixture that we made earlier in the middle, just a wee bit more, and then I'm gonna close this up like so, and then I'm just gonna do like pinch this side. Can you see that okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna bring this one in. Oopsie daisy. That's okay, we'll just fix that a bit. I'm gonna bring that one in and pinch these two sides as well. I didn't put any flour, now it's انلاصت علي. Right. So then it's kind of like 3 little edges, if that makes sense. Not quite perfect, but I'll try the other one. I'll show you. Oh, it's sticking. This one looks like a fish. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Like I said at the beginning, they didn't turn out, you know, perfectly. The dough didn't turn out super perfect, but I hope you enjoyed the recipe anyway, and they do taste really good. So please do let me know if you try them. I'll maybe do it. Should I do a wee taste test? I'll do a wee taste test. I'm gonna do the veggie ones because I think those ones are my favorite. I do love them all, but these ones are really, really good. They're so good. I love them. Like I said at the beginning, I'm sorry that it's been a wee while, and to be honest, it will probably be the videos will probably be pretty infrequent for a while. Like I said, just because I'm really busy at the moment. But yeah, for anyone who's looking out for them, I hope you enjoy them. And thanks so much for sticking along anyway. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Take care. See you in the next one. Bye.